Training baristas is like playing a game of cards. You start with a full deck of potential, and if you know how to play your cards right, you can win every hand. Today I'm here to show you how to stack the deck in your favor with an actionable training framework that transforms beginners into coffee-making maestros. And yes, we're going to have a little fun along the way. So quickly, before we dive in, I'd like to remind you to check out our first video on how to hire baristas, where I share essential tips on finding the perfect barista candidate for your cafe. And don't miss my upcoming video on retaining baristas, which will reveal strategies to keep your top talent thriving. Okay, let's face it. Most cafe owners dive into training with a sink or swim mentality, leaving new hires to flounder in the deep end. I've been there. Too many new baristas drown in the chaos of the morning rush because there's no clear game plan. I've learned that success comes from being proactive, not reactive. So let's flip the script on what could go wrong to what can go right. I've got this summed up in 6 easy steps you can follow to ensure your barista training success. Step 1, orientation and workflow. Every great card game starts with knowing the rules, and your cafe isn't any different. Introduce your new barista to the crew and make sure they quickly become best friends with the cash register and POS. Think of it as a learning how to play your winning hand. The flow of your coffee shop is the game board they need to master. One winning strategy I used was pairing them with a seasoned barista buddy to shadow while taking orders and organizing the workspace. With a trainer always on deck, they'll soon be ready to play solo without missing a beat. Mastering the cash register is like perfecting your poker face, essential for avoiding mix-ups and keeping customer experience sharp. Trust me, once you get this right, you'll feel like you just dealt yourself the royal flush. Step 2, mastering the basics. Now it's time to build a solid foundation. Just as you wouldn't jump into a high-stakes game without mastering the basics, don't have your baristas craft complex lattes until they know the recipe inside and out. Have them observe drink preparation closely, learn the precise timing, and understand the role of each ingredient. Begin with simpler tasks like making ice drinks or cold brews before gradually moving on to the more complex orders. Print and laminate your recipes so they stay as spotless as your best coffee mug. No caffeine makeovers allowed. For drinks that require powders such as matcha, turmeric lattes, label the canisters with a simple grid indicating the number of scoops needed for each cup size, ensuring consistency and quality every time. Step number 3, espresso shot fundamentals. Now that the basics are down, it's time to play the ace in the hole, the espresso shot. Think of this as a high stakes hand that can make or break your winning streak. In this round, teach your baristas the essential techniques: grinding, weighing, distributing, tamping, and pulling that picture-perfect shot. Consistency is the trump card here, much like knowing when to hold 'em or fold 'em in poker. This step can get pretty technical, so be ready to deal with the finer details. For example, explain how humidity acts like a wild card, influencing coffee extraction and potentially turning a stellar shot into a bitter flop. Step number 4, perfecting milk steaming and latte art. Now it's time to deal with the finesse play. Milk steaming where precision meets artistry. Guide your baristas in the mastering of the perfect milk texture. Because just like a card game, even the best players sometimes face a losing hand. A bubbly mess that looks more like a mad scientist experiment than a latte. Remind them that the real win isn't in flashy latte art, but in creating velvety smooth, perfectly textured milk every single time. As part of this process, ensure your baristas understand the importance of choosing the right size jug to match the order. This isn't just about style, it's about efficiency and reducing waste. They should also get comfortable working the steam wand, learning its quirks and how to control it like a seasoned card shark. And don't forget to emphasize the art of portioning the milk correctly so that every cup gets the perfect amount without any unnecessary waste. Once they've got the basics down, introduce simple latte art like starting with hearts or tulips and celebrate every attempt. After all, Even imperfect designs boost their confidence and skills. And here's a pro tip to keep things slick. Have your new barista practice steaming with water and just a little dash of detergent to minimize bubbly waste. This hack ensures they're refining their technique without any messy misdeals, focusing on that essential, smooth texture before the art takes center stage. Step number 5, exceptional customer service. Coffee, it isn't just about the brew. It's about the full experience, from the first smile to the final sip. Think of customer service as a secret card that can turn a routine hand into a winning game. Teach your team to engage with customers with genuine warmth and attention, transforming every interaction into a memorable moment. Start by training your baristas to greet customers like old friends, with a smile and a sincere welcome that sets a positive tone from the moment someone steps in. Role-playing scenarios are a fantastic way to bridge theory and practice. Simulate real-world situations where they must handle everything from simple greetings to challenging complaints with grace. Encourage your team to listen actively and tailor their responses. After all, a well-timed joke or a quick witty remark can be just as refreshing as an extra shot of espresso. And let's be clear, gone are the days of rude coffee baristas. Today's barista is all about creating a warm, inviting atmosphere that makes every customer feel like a VIP. Remind them that exceptional service isn't just about following a script. It's about reading the room, making each patron feel valued. When they can sense a customer's mood and adjust accordingly, they're not just serving coffee, they're creating a connection that keeps patrons coming back for more. This level of personalized service is the ace up your sleeve and sets your cafe apart from the rest. Step number 6, setting clear expectations and continuous feedback. From the moment your baristas walk in, they need a clear vision of what winning looks like. I would say think of it as having a foolproof strategy in a high-stakes card game. Lay out clear performance expectations and take the time to explain the why behind every rule. When your team understands the theory behind each move, they're not just following a checklist, they're crafting a master plan. Consider regular feedback your secret strategy session, whether it's daily check-ins, one-on-one coaching, or periodic evaluations. This ongoing dialogue is like reviewing your hand mid-game to fine-tune your tactics. Use checklists and cheat sheets and keep consistency sharp. This isn't a guessing game. It's a carefully orchestrated play. And let's be honest, every smart card shark knows that success comes from understanding the strategy, not just memorizing the moves. Emphasize your cafe's mission and values so that every barista feels part of a winning team with a shared purpose. So let's talk about the final hand. Imagine this. Every barista in your cafe is playing from the same winning deck. They're confident, consistent, and ready to impress every customer that walks through that door. This isn't just about avoiding mistakes, it's about creating an environment where excellence is the norm. I learned early on in my career that the secret to success lies in preparation and a willingness to refine your strategy continuously. The same principles that make every card game exciting and unpredictable can be harnessed to train a team that's prepared for any challenge. And just like in a great card game, sometimes you have to take a risk, learn from it, and deal yourself a better hand next time. So here's the big takeaway. With a structured, solution-driven training framework, you're not just teaching baristas to make coffee, you're crafting a team that thinks on its feet, adapts to challenges, and delivers a stellar customer experience every single day. Remember, in the game of barista training, every skill is a card in your deck. When played right, it's a winning hand. If you would like an in-depth look at the training framework I've shared today, click the link below to download your free guide. Now, shuffle those cards, deal out this plan, and watch your cafe transform. And as you wrap up, remember, in the world of coffee and cards, it's all about knowing your hand and playing it smart. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to download the free guide to implement these strategies, and let's make every cup a winning experience. Because when your baristas win, so do you.